I need you to knock some sense into me. I'm sure you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
I enjoy listening to you. I don't always agree with everything.
All right. Enough of this persiflage.
So, you want my question?
I'm certainly not going to get myself in trouble by telling you what to do.
That makes great sense. Gosh, that's good.
Did I overwhelm you with words and wisdom?
I've got 7 kids. I feel like I could call you every day.
Wait, you're telling me I'm wrong? Disconnect.
Yes, I am, Dr. Ray.
You just need to tune in to Dr. Ray, honey. He's got all the answers.
Am I right or am I right?
Probably.
Now, from the studios of Living Bread Radio Network in Canton, Ohio, the hometown of Mother Angelica, here's Dr. Ray.
I wish my wife would listen to this program more often. She does listen. I think she listened, was 2004, I think it was. Got a call from a nice, sweet lady. I hope Laura's still listening. She called and she said, what things do you do at your home? Kind of a Christmas-type traditions. And I couldn't think of much. I got home. I told my wife, I said, I got a call today, honey. She said, on what? I said, radio show. She said, radio show? Yeah, it's a radio show I do at 1 o'clock. Really? How long you been doing that? I go, well, about half the years we've been married. I'll be. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to tune in if I get a chance. Okay, thank you. Thanks, honey. And she reeled off about 10 things that we do, and I thought, oh, yeah, I didn't think of any of those. Here's one. I know Eric's going to get on me for not giving out the number, but that's because I'm trying to be humble. And all of a sudden give out the number and say, okay, call me. We have each year one of the kids set the rules for the gift exchange. And typically it is a gift exchange of you can give a decent gift or you can give a gag gift. And you won't know because they're all packed and they're in the middle. And this is sort of, there's variance on this, but this is sort of the way it goes. Everybody draws a number. Then you get to pick, if you're number one, you pick the first gift. You're allowed to pick the first gift. You open it up. Go through till all the gifts are picked. Then we put the numbers back in. And we redraw. And then you can steal. You can steal somebody else's gift. But if you do that, somebody can steal yours. Because if you steal mine, let's say I got a neat gift and you wanted it and you took it. Well, the person who drew number 4 can go, I want that one. And they take it from you. So the best thing to do is be the last person, the 12th or 13th or 14th person. So we do a lot of that. And the funny thing is we started including the grandkids. So the last 2 years, my gift was, at the end of it all, I had a baby doll. And then I think the year before, some kind of coloring book. I'm always on the losing end of that. Anyway, okay, now I'll give you the number. 877-573-7825. 877-57-EQUAL. That's the number. I would love to hear from you. Love to get your calls. Yesterday I said, hey, we got some open lines, and everybody called in. All right, now I'm going to say, hey, we've got some open lines. So you will talk to Eric Dumont, who is also filling in for Andrew Kruchek today. They had a quick spring break where his kids go to school. Sorry, Christmas break where his kids go to school because 25% of the kids were out sick. Yikes. So they just figured, okie dokie, let's just send everybody home a few days early for Christmas break. That's cool. If I was a kid, I'd go nuts. I remember the first day of school when I was in the 6th grade. I looked ahead. And Christmas fell in such a way that we had 16 days off. And I raised my hand and said, is Christmas break this year 16 days? And my teacher, Mrs. L, just said, well, we'll talk about that 4 months from now. She was gently telling me, don't concern yourself with breaks already, Raymond. If she knew my name was Raymond. All right. 877-57-EQUAL. That's the number. If you've got a question about something, particularly about the holidays, people around the holidays, or gift giving or card giving. Now, we're not doing a topic show. Everybody calls and says, what's the topic for today? We don't have a topic. It's pretty much geared by what you call in about. So, anything. Kids, family, stressors, emotions, diagnostic questions about things you don't understand. I don't diagnose here, but I can explain the diagnosis to you. Or various aspects of the human condition and the faith condition, too. We get a lot of faith questions, and as I scratched and clawed my way back to the Catholic Church after 8 years out in the Protestant world, I had to learn an awful lot about my faith that I just did not absorb when I was younger. So, 877-57 equal, noticing nothing up there yet, so I can talk. Admit it. Admit it. You get these Christmas letters from people, and they're supposed to be updates, right? Updates about what's going on in their family. And some of them are very nice. They're toned down. They're very sweet. They'll tell you that we just had welcome to fifth grandchild, or we changed jobs, or we're going to move. Just stuff like that. Updates, very nice. But you know as well as I do, some of these things are written Facebooks. I mean, they are brag recitals. You know it. Come on. I know I can hear you people saying, come on, Dr. Ray. This is just family and life sharing at Christmas time. If that's what it is, great. But a lot of them are, let me tell you how wonderful our family's been doing. I'll give you a sample here. I used this from one of my books when I talked about social media. Just an example. This is not one I got. My daughter Bliss turned 11 and just completed her 10th year of ballet, gymnastics, competitive powerlifting, and Greco-Roman language scholarship. She's been busy gearing up for her Olympic tryouts in 2024. Hopefully she'll be able to jug that with her pending nomination as junior ambassador to NATO. Her brother Noble was surprised on his 6th birthday with calls from the Pope, the President, and 2 of the Beatles. His birthday party had to be cut short because we all had to leave for a week-long cruise honoring him for winning our state's 2025 First Grader of the Year award. My husband Forbes has been named regional sales manager for the Northeast section of the Milky Way. And I keep active, volunteering at the nursing home 10 to 12 hours a day, knitting shawls for all the residents and teaching them sign language. The real go-getter of the family, though, is Big Brother Sterling, who just last week, come on, you know it. You know it. So for years and years, and I don't even know if these are still on my website anymore, I wrote 10, 12, 15 of these kinds of letters, although quite different. They were satirical. Here's an example of something I would have written. My son James is in the 6th grade, and he made straight A's. His B's are a little crooked, but he should have them by the end of the year. Most of the other kids did. And we got a very, very nice, I mean, if I can brag, we got a very uplifting parent compliment from the probation officer, who said my son was one of the nicest kids he has. Okay, so that's what the letters were like. The kids are all grown and gone now. So this is one I finally wrote there for a few years. I didn't write any. Here's the one I sent out this year. It's called Guarendi Christmas Greetings, number 41. Merry Christmas. Or for any of you reading this in a safe space, season's greetings. Jolly winter solstice. Happy holidays. Which is scarily close to holy days. The older I get, the faster time flies. Seems like only a year ago it was Christmas. Lately I've been flirting with a midlife crisis. Okay, an old life crisis. It hit me. This is as old as I've ever been. Pictures no longer do me justice. They look too much like me. And I look at my driver's license and think, that's not a bad picture. 60 may be the new 40, but 9 is the new midnight. I don't admit my exact age anymore. I've taken to hinting at it. My last birthday cake had 60 candles on it, and that was the piece I had. When I have to scroll to the year of my birth on the computer, I feel like I'm spinning the wheel on Wheel of Fortune. I know how to use a computer, Eric. Liz, our youngest and last child at home, moved out last summer, threatening, "You can't stop me." True, I said, but I can stop you from coming back. Randy and I don't call ourselves empty nesters. We prefer bird launchers. Randy proclaimed this year 21 years of happy marriage. We've been married 41. Our courtship did start out a little shaky. 2 years into it, Randy gave me an ultimatum. She said, "You either tell me your name or it's over." She could be pushy. Randy asked me last night, "Are you even listening to me?" And I thought, that's a funny way to start a conversation. I am working diligently on becoming a more communicative spouse. After reading the book Marriage for Dummies, I have a better sense of my wife's love language. Rather than reflexively giving her advice, Randy would like me to show more understanding and reassurance. Just last week, I had the chance to put my newfound insights into practice. Calling me into the garage, Randy pointed to the car's rear flat tire. Nodding with empathy, I hugged her and said, "That must be really frustrating for you." Then I got in my car and I went to work. Sensitivity is my new marital way. For Randy's birthday, I took her to a restaurant where they bring food to your table. Talk about fancy. No more Golden Corral buffet. 2 booths away, a woman was loud and disruptive, obviously having had too much to drink. "I know her," I informed Randy. "We dated in college. When I broke it off, they say she began to drink and apparently has never stopped." Randy said, "Hard to believe somebody could celebrate that long." For our 40th anniversary last year, I wanted to surprise Randy by recreating our first date. So we went horseback riding and had a ball for over an hour until I ran out of quarters. My career has fostered a new bad habit, procrastination. To conquer it, last May, I joined a self-help group, Procrastinators Anonymous. We haven't met yet. Randy warned me that I was getting a little too full of myself, so she signed me up for Condescenders Anonymous. I'd explain what it's about, but I really don't think you'd understand. More people lately are asking me, "Are you retiring soon?" Actually, I have moved into semi-retirement. Rather than nodding, "Uh-huh, I see," every 2 minutes, as I did when I was working at peak, I now nod every 4 minutes. No sense risking bone spurs in my neck. I still do the radio program 1 p.m. every day for a full hour, and with only 5 commercial breaks. That schedule forces me to be awake and moving at the crack of noon. It's demanding, but for me, it's all about commitment. Our 10 children now raised, I gently suggested to Randy that she might consider working for a living. She doesn't seem to be all that enthused about the idea, claiming it would affect her current Social Security. Still, via text and email, I send her applications every day. Vinny's Cement Block Packaging, Transmissions R Us, and High Tension Power Line Painters Incorporated. As we've gotten older, no kids at home, we've had to work out a domestic duties compromise. I will continue to dust the TV and vacuum the hallway, water the kitchen plant, and make the bed 4 days a week rather than 2, as in the past years. Randy will continue to cover the upkeep of the house, the yard, the laundry, the cars, and the roof, as I still do work for a living. In closing, I hope I haven't given you the wrong impression. I do strive to make our marriage 50-50. Randy does try, but I am the highly trained relationship guru. After she types this, I will fold and place it into the cards. God hold and keep you and yours, Ray and Randy. So there you have it. And my wife says to me, "Why do you revel in making yourself look like a jerk?" 877-573-7825 to your phones after the break.
Welcome to Advanced Dentistry Center family. This is Dr. Metti, and our team strives to treat you like family in a loving and compassionate way as we focus on serving you in a Christ-like manner. We do this by emphasizing prevention and general well-being for a lifetime. Our private practice is small, personal, state-of-the-art, and innovative, with the goal to educate and motivate our patients in improving their oral health. It is through a partnership with you that you will achieve the goals for your smile. Advanced Dentistry is serious about the level of care we provide, with attention to details and an exceptional level of care, skill, and judgment. We are thrilled for the opportunity to serve you.
Dr. Matty and the team invite you to visit them at advanceddentistrycenter.com or call them at 248-594-9592. That's 248-594-9592. AdvancedDentistryCenter.com.
As the new year approaches, it's the perfect moment to check off a big resolution early and wrap your family in the gift of security. Planning ahead shows your love in a big way, ensuring your wishes shine through no matter what life brings. At mycatholicwill.com/AVE, you can create your will at no cost from the privacy of your home. The process is straightforward. Go to mycatholicwill.com/AVE and prioritize your family's peace of mind.
Advent is here, and Ave Maria Radio wants to walk beside you every day as we move towards the birth of Jesus. When you visit AveMariaRadio.net, you can join our Advent mission and receive short, powerful, and engaging daily videos that help you enter the mystery of the Incarnation with new clarity and devotion. Go to the slider at AveMariaRadio.net, sign up, and take your place in this joyful journey to the manger.
My problem is I belong to so many of these anonymous groups. Everybody knows who I am. Elise from Indiana said, Dr. Ray, I kind of do something similar with my Christmas newsletter. Hi, Elise.
Hi, Dr. Ray. I'm a big fan. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, dear. I would have taken it even if you weren't a big fan.
Yeah, I really enjoyed listening to that letter. And I just couldn't help but think it's pretty similar to what I do, although I think maybe my stories about myself being kind of a loser and a jerk might be real ones. I think yours are fake.
Nah, you don't know there, Elise. You don't know. My wife says, boy, you're kind of making yourself look better than you are. I said, yeah, I know.
No, I usually try to include, just to counteract the bragging that does go on out there, I try to include something I did that was quirky or a mistake or, just funny things. So my favorite story that's kind of gets a replay every year, I go on this annual retreat, and it's in this place where there used to be nuns. Now it's just a retreat center, and there's a chaplain living on the grounds. So the first year that I went there, I was wearing this black dress and walking in the cemetery where the nuns are buried, and the chaplain was out for a walk praying the rosary around the same time, and he looked out there and saw me standing in the cemetery in my black dress.
Oh,
and he told me the next day he really thought he was seeing an apparition of his sister. And so every year that I go back, there's new staff at this place, and the chaplain's always introducing me as, oh, yeah, this is the girl I thought was the ghost of a nun.
You don't do the black dress thing every year, do you?
No, I stopped with the black dress after the first year.
That's wild. That's very cute. That is very cute. See, that's nice. I think that,
I try to be entertaining instead of like a braggart.
It's easy to brag in those things. I mean, you really got to tone them down.
It is.
So let's say your kid, for example, does graduate and gets accepted to some big-time college because he had a 4.92 average. It's so easy to say that. The only people that really care about that is your mother and a few very close relatives who take real joy and pride in what your family does. But the rest of the people you send these things to, especially if they don't even hear from you except at Christmas, you're just telling them, let me tell you what all we did. Let me tell you. I know there's some, and some of them I got to admit are 2 and 3 pages long.
Yes.
They go month by month. In January, we, and then they go all through January, and then February, we. And it's like, I don't make it much past March 15th. Elise, thank you.
Well,
and
I just wanted to call in and say, Merry Christmas, and I appreciate your show.
Thank you, dear. Merry Christmas to you, too. All right? See ya. I had, did I have a lady, what'd she call me yesterday? I was doing, I was placing an order or something like that. And she said, oh, I know what it was. I was at one of these fast gas station places where they have all the food inside, So I was coming to the show here, and I had a lunch of champions. I had a Diet Mountain Dew and Smokehouse almonds. I put it on there, and she said, okay, how much? And she said, I know I'm being disjointed. She said, why, thank you, dear. And I looked at her, and I said, I'm a guy, and I'm not offended when you call me dear. I think that's kind of sweet. And she said, well, I'm a girl, and I'm not offended either. I said, yeah, but we guys got to be careful. A lot of people, it's all of a sudden you're just not allowed to do that anymore. Now, I get away with it because I'm older, but if I were back when I was younger and I did something like that, a little more risky. Okay, 877-573-7825. Had some calls, but they went away. Was it something I said? Is it another psychologist? A different show? 877, if you want to talk to Eric, 877-573-7825. If you get past Eric, you will get to me. Do you struggle like I do? Thinking I'd like to buy somebody something, but I have no idea what they need. I have no idea what would be helpful. I have no idea. And it's not because I don't know them. I do know them. I've been to their house and all this kind of stuff, but I'm thinking, what do you do? Sometimes I get them a magazine subscription to something that I think they might like, whether it's religious or even non-religious, but kind of traditional. A lot of times I fall back on restaurant gift certificates. You get these things that have 6 restaurants on them, and you can pick and choose which ones you want. And I give them a gift certificate for $2. But they don't know that. I mean, I put $100 on the envelope, and then when they go in, by that time it's too late. Okay, I don't do that. But those gift certificates are kind of cool. Matter of fact, we had a little gift exchange. We're going to get to the calls here in a second, as soon as you get that screened up there, Eric. We had a little gift exchange among our family. Again, a lot of the kids are out of town now, and they're not coming around for Christmas. So we had a gift exchange, and everybody kind of listed what things could be good for them. I just simply put 3 restaurant gift certificates. That's all I put. And I drew my daughter's name. She's out of town, and I'm not afraid of letting her know I have her name because she doesn't listen to the show either. I think there's a cabal among my children. Sometimes they even text me during the show like, hey, Dad, can I ask you something? I'm thinking, all right, I've been doing this show for 23 years, right out of college. Okay, I'm going to take a break here in about a minute, so I'm going to talk to Kevin right after the break. 877-573-7825. Indy was calling, and she went away during the Christmas season. I want to tell you also, I thoroughly enjoy playing trivia with my godson, one of my dear friends, with my wife, the wife of one of my lifelong friends. We have about 6 of us. We go up against these teams that have 13 people, because there's no limit because the bar wants as many people in there as possible. We play trivia pretty much every Wednesday night. And you can win money. If you're in first place, you win $25 gift certificate to the restaurant. Third place is 10. Second place is 15. And the final question is the kicker. I mean, you have 8 rounds, and you have a final question that you can bet anywhere between 0 and 15 points on. If you don't get the final question, you're done. It's rare that you can win anything if you blow the final question. So I'll share with you later in the show if I can remember what our final questions were. See if you know it. Don't cheat. You can't look it up. It's Dr. Ray. Thanks for keeping me company. I've read the EWTN Family Christmas Special. Father Joseph Mary Wolf and the EWTN Chapel Choir give EWTN listeners a special Christmas concert from the Retreat Center Chapel at the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament in Hanceville. Thursday night, Christmas Day, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's right, on EWTN Radio. For the complete 48 hours of Christmas schedule, visit EWTN.com/, boy, do I hate saying that, 48 hours. Let's go to Kevin from Saginaw, Michigan. Hello, hello there, Kevin.
Hi, Dr. Ray. I was in your live studio audience a few weeks back in Ann Arbor, and I had asked you a question about my estranged daughters, and you had provided me with a pretty good answer. But my brother-in-law sent me an article yesterday through the Wall Street Journal by a lady. Her name is Elizabeth Bernstein. And basically, she wrote this pretty long article, but it says, parents who have estranged kids, we need to connect here. We need to support each other, and we need to talk about it. Welcome to the blank off parents pushback. After years of therapists and psychology influencers and internet chat groups encouraging adult children to cut ties with families they deem harmful or toxic, estranged parents are now speaking out. So, do you think it's good to establish a more defensive approach after multiple attempts of failing to re-establish relationships with our kids, or should we just let it simmer and go?
I am thinking, first of all, I'm familiar with those groups kind of spottily popping up around. I think that if it's clear from the kids that you are not having any success whatsoever in trying to reach out, trying to reconnect, they rebuff you, they reject you, they even get nasty about it, you got to cut your losses. You basically look at it and say, okay, here's what I've advised people to do. After multiple attempts that they've tried, I say you send some kind of communication, however you choose to do that. I am here. I'm ready to get together, reconcile again. But right now, I will respect the fact that you want nothing to do with me, or you want me not in your life. You do not want me in your life. I respect that, and I will cooperate with it. That's what I say. The problem with that group there, Kevin, is that you got to watch, because if you're a Christian, that group may give you a lot of inflaming advice that really doesn't parallel what our Lord would want us to do in terms of just forgiving, even though there's no contact. If they're going to tell you this is what you got to do, or you don't have to take that, let them know, do this. Now, I am not I've also said this is my pushback. If you're going to persist in writing me off, no matter what I do, you will be out of the will. I mean, I'm not leaving anything to you if you want nothing to do with me. That's legit. There's no that's going to happen. So, and I don't know if I'd convey it to him. I just quietly do it. Write a codicil to the will and say, that's it. This child, as of such and such, is no longer inheriting anything. That's what I would do. But you got to watch those groups, because they can fuel you. They really can fuel you. All right?
All right. Thanks for your words of wisdom again.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Karen, Illinois, shared a video of one of my books. Wonder which one that was. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Which video was it?
Hello.
Yes'm.
You're a better parent than you think.
Oh, that thing was recorded probably 20 years ago, maybe more.
Oh, I think it was more.
I looked like my son, didn't I?
Yes, I think so. You're so handsome. You were handsome then. You're handsome now.
You got to get out more.
But no. Well, you were talking about being at a certain age, and I've just decided I'm 66, and I'm going to compliment people, not because I'm trying to butter them up or anything like that, but to be honest and say it, You look nice today. oh, you did a great job with that. And I'm talking about people I don't really know, like in the grocery store, any other situation like that. Because I think it's important for people to understand that they're appreciated even though they're not giving anything to get that appreciation.
So you would, at a grocery store, just walk up to somebody and say, you have a beautiful sweater.
I did. I already did that today. It was a coat, but I loved your coat. It was a Christmassy coat. Yep. I was in the grocery store, and I walked up to someone and said, I love your coat.
Now, you see, Karen, that's because you're a woman. Now, I've been alive a long time, and I have yet to go up to a guy and go, hey, cute top.
Well, okay, but I don't think you would compliment a guy about their clothes, but you'd say, hey, nice truck, right?
Hey, yeah, your belly's a lot smaller than the last time I saw you.
Something like that. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I think that's a very, very sweet thing to do. But I did notice this, and I'm trying not to interpret it too much here, Karen. But all this talk of yours about, oh, I'm a compliment machine, I go around socially and I lift up everybody. You didn't say one nice thing about me this whole time we've been talking.
Wait a minute. I said you're handsome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's not true. So you lied.
Yes, it is. No. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, dear.
That's real.
Right?
That's the old beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So you're really not handsome, but because my eyes are twisted, I think you are. I don't know. I'm telling you. You're a doll.
You can't take a compliment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you.
So the other thing I wanted...
Yes, dear.
I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to also tell you, because you mentioned Christmas traditions, and when I met my husband's family, their background is Dutch-German, and they celebrated St. Nicholas Day, which I had never heard of before. And I thought it was so special, and it was a springboard for me to look into Christmas traditions around the world. And I started looking at, why do we have poinsettias? Why a candy cane? Why the Christmas tree? So on and so forth. And it's been very fun. I did that when my children were younger, when they were very young. And now I have grandchildren that are going to start to understand these traditions and, have memories.
Because you can tell them. You can say, boy,
that.
Grandma knows a lot. She really does.
Yeah, I do. But, yeah, and so I asked that you would share a few more of your Christmas traditions because I'm always interested to hear what other people do.
Well, bless your heart. Okay.
So that's my question for you, if you would do that.
I will try to do that, and next week I will be in prior to Christmas. I want to come in on Christmas Day because, I just want to help people. But apparently, the people at EWTN and Ave are running reruns. Eric just blasted the music because he just wanted to drown me out. Thanks. There's a lot of calls up there. I'm going to try to get to everybody if I can. Thank you for joining me. I got to get to it. Christmas charity. And I did want to give you those final questions, holiday questions, see if you can get them. But let's go to Greg from Texas. Pretty straightforward, generic question. He wants me to define psychologist and psychiatrist. What's the difference? Right, Greg?
Yeah, that, and as well, a counselor, I guess
sure.
It's a licensed social worker.
The terms are used interchangeably, and they're not interchangeable, but they are used interchangeably. Counselors, licensed social workers generally have a master's degree. In most states, to be a psychologist, you have to have a PhD, unless you get grandfathered in. Okay, or you can, I don't know all the rules across all the states. In Ohio, generally, if you're a psychologist licensed, you have a PhD. Psychiatrist is an MD. Psychiatrist, by and large, deals with people on a medication predominant basis. Some psychiatrists do counseling, but for the most part, they are medication monitoring and prescription. Psychologists cannot prescribe medication, but they do much more one-to-one or group or testing, that kind of thing. So a guy like me, I see people in my office, but I can't prescribe medication. I'd have to refer them to a psychiatrist if I think they got a situation where they could benefit from medication. There are heavy amounts of social workers, licensed counselors out there. Something new called life coaches out there. Life coaches are generally not bound by licensing laws in the state. Pretty much anybody can say, I'm a life coach, and if you trust them and you believe them and you think they're helpful to you, people go to them. So that's really, really the overview of all these different terms, and I see how that can be confusing. Somebody can say, I'm a counselor. Well, yeah, I counsel, I do therapy, but predominantly I'm a psychologist, and a psychologist can do testing, where counselors, by and large, don't do testing. Psychiatrists can do testing too, and they can do anything a psychologist does, but for the most part, they don't, because their caseloads are heavy, and it's everything they can do to monitor the medication and prescribe the medication and follow up. There you go, my friend.
Great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon, New York. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Dr. Ray, how are you?
I'm doing good, sir.
Hey, I'm calling in today. I'm 35, I'm Catholic. I got a small family, a couple kids under 10, I'm having some issues with my parents.
Brandon, you're not trained to use the word issue. You know what I mean? You have to be a professional. But I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
Have the title.
Yeah, that's right. I'll let you do it though. What are your parents
I'm
doing?
Having some trouble there.
Yeah, what are they doing?
You know how it says in the Bible you're supposed to cleave to your wife.
Yeah.
And I've done that, but laying down some boundaries, I guess, between myself and my parents, in terms of just dictating what to do for holidays, maybe different traditions. We want to start doing stuff, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant like a wall of turmoil, and by being honest and kind with what we wanted with my parents, they kind of recoiled at us in like an aggressive, nasty way.
Wow.
And now we're going like a year, no contact, no reconciliation.
What did you do so horrible?
Well, we just kind of told them that we wanted to throw our own kids' birthdays. And, we wanted to see other family members also for different holidays. And a big thing, too, was my mom was kind of playing favorites between my kids. They're young. They're like 5 and 6. But, so that whole thing was kind of tough. We didn't want to have see any animosity between them as siblings. We're raising our family with love and kindness and, togetherness. But I guess my question for you then is what hope do I have as a son waiting around to see if they're going to come to the table when I've already forgiven them, told them I've forgiven them, and they meet me with, well, I don't even remember that happening, or just animosity that they don't even want to sit down and talk about it.
Do they have no contact with you?
Yeah, they called me for my birthday. I called them for their birthday. My dog died. They never even reached out, and that was it. Haven't talked to them since.
You read your parents like that? In other words, if you do something that's well within your rights to do, but they don't agree or they take it personal, they're capable of doing stuff like this? This is not a total surprise?
No, not a surprise. It's kind of been the nature since I was a child. But, going into adulthood, you'd think that they would kind of change as I've got...
Well, people only change if... The main reason for people to change, believe it or not, is that they want to follow Christ's way of life. Short of that, it's not as common that somebody wants to change and mature just for the sake of it. Self-interest is a very powerful motive. I would suggest that you have every right to gently and kindly say this is kind of what we want to do. with our own family and how we want to do it, and we're not shutting out our parents. We're just simply saying they're part and parcel of our whole social umbrella. And they don't like that. They don't like that at all. I might say something to...
Feeling real guilty, you know?
Well, you didn't do anything wrong, did you?
No, I know, but you're supposed to honor your parents. It's a commandment.
Well, you did.
You got to take care of the ailing parents.
Well, you did, Brandon. You honored them, at least from what you're telling me. You said we'd like to do these things now that we have our own family. This is how we'd like to spread our time. This is how we want to celebrate birthdays. And they just took it very, very personally. How dare you do this to your mother and father?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I've been a yes man my entire life. It's probably not popular, but I always say 18 years a slave. But it was a rough time, and now that I'm free, I've been trying to still live under that yoke, but at the same time break off as an adult and independent person. I'm not.
Well, there's two levels here, Brandon. Two levels. You have no reason. You have no reason to feel guilty if you didn't do anything wrong. That's one. The other level is your parents can decide if they're going to be upset, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it, unless you say, "Okay, I'll meet your terms, Mom and Dad." But anything short of that they want that you didn't meet, you risk their ill will, don't you?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure you're
between two opposing forces here.
You ain't caught, Brandon. You ain't caught. You're not caught.
Thank you.
You're not caught at all. If your wife says, "Hey, I think we need to divide up holidays with my parents," and you say, "I think that's very reasonable. We'll figure out how to do it," and your mom and dad don't like that, you're not caught. You didn't do anything wrong. What you're finding out is that they are capable of punishing you if you don't cooperate with what they want you to do.
Right. But in my heart, I don't even want to cause any animosity towards them. I wish that they weren't.
You didn't.
I wish
Brandon,
be fine.
Brandon, listen to me. You didn't cause animosity. You made a decision and they got hostile. You didn't cause that.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. You're thinking, I did this to them. No, you didn't. They did it to themselves.
Okay.
I think you've been shaped a long time into some thinking that I'm sure frustrates your wife, because she's probably thinking, wait a minute. I knew that. How did I know that?
Yeah.
She's
Can't
saying,
say no, and I do anything for everyone, and it never really works out, even though you think you're doing,
your wife says, I love Dr. Ray because he brought me into this right away quick. All right, Brandon, take care, honey. I got to go. I'm past break, buddy. I'll talk to you. This is Dr. Ray.
Do you own popular index mutual funds or ETFs? If so, you're automatically own shares of companies that conflict with your moral beliefs. Ave Maria mutual funds are managed to conform to pro-life and pro-family values. Long-term investors can invest in the no-load Ave Maria mutual funds. The experienced professional portfolio managers make decisions based on investment fundamentals and pro-life values. You can learn more about Ave Maria mutual funds today at 866 Ave Maria or visit AveMariaFunds.com.
Hi, I'm Matthew Handley from PurpleCatholic.com, inviting you to my new program, Death Comes for the Archbishop. Each week, we'll explore Willa Cather's timeless novel of faith and frontier life in 19th century New Mexico. You'll hear vivid narration and thoughtful conversations with historians and theologians who bring its spiritual depth to life. Death Comes for the Archbishop, Saturdays at noon on Ave Maria Radio.
Welcome to a St. Nicholas Minute. What is a saint anyway? Although I was imprisoned for 7 years during a terrible persecution of the church under the pagan Roman Emperor Diocletian, I'm one of the first saints honored not because I suffered a bloody martyrdom like St. Peter or St. Paul. I was called a saint because people began to say, Nicholas loves Jesus so much that you can see a lot of Jesus in him. And that's what a saint is, someone who wants to become more and more like Jesus, who is the light of the world each and every day of our lives. One day when a class of parochial school students were in church, their pastor asked the assembly of children, "What is a saint?" Then a first-grade girl pointed up to a stained glass image of a saint saying, "Saints are those people who let the light in." And so, as we celebrate the birth of Christ, Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Christ is born. Glorify him.
I'll get to it quick because I may not get to all your questions, and you're first up down the road. I said I made a commitment. What were the final questions? Holiday questions. Okay, here was the first game's holiday questions. 7 men were in the top 100 of Christmas songs. Bing Crosby and Dean Martin were already given to you. There are 5 left. Name 2 of the 5. Okay, that's 1. Then the second game's question was this. Auld Lang Syne, the song, was based upon a poem by which Scottish poet? That's the second question. Lori from Portland, Oregon. Hi, Lori.
Hi.
You're up, dear.
How are you?
I'm awfully good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So my question is, why is it important to marry as a Christian, if you're a Christian, under the oath of God?
When you say oath of God, what do you mean by that?
Okay, I don't know. I'm 71 years old growing up, and you get married, you go to church, you get married, and that's under the eye of God.
Okay, God is a witness to your marriage.
Thank you. That's
okay.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to establish here, I guess.
If you are Catholic, or if you are one of the...
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
I'm not Catholic, I'm a Christian.
So let's take it from a Christian then. Catholics believe that marriage is a sacrament, so it's critical. If you're a Catholic, you're going to believe in the sacrament of marriage, and you're going to want to do it according to what the church teaches under the authority they have from Christ. If you're a Christian of various other denominations or independent churches, the Catholic Church still recognizes marriage and baptism, if done appropriately, according to our Lord, baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, as legitimate ordinances from God. So if you say, I am a Christian, and my life is guided according to God principles, then I'm going to marry within my denomination, within my independent church, according to the beliefs of that church. And one of the beliefs is marriage is something ordained by God. If you're not a Christian, then you go get married in the justice of the peace or on the beach, because that's just a civil ceremony and the government recognizes it. But if you're a Christian, you are saying, I believe that God wants us to do it this way according to Holy Scripture and according to the teachings of our faith, and therefore I will do that. I must do that. It's kind of a command.
Okay. This may be a two-part question. So I was in a CIR, a committed intimate relationship, for 25 years. I'm 71, he's 73, and I filed for divorce. Very hard to do at this age, and being together 25 years. No children involved. And I believe that I did this because I've fallen back into my Christianity and that strength that I'm getting from the Lord the last 3 years. So I just started praying every morning and reading Scripture. And eventually, it finally happened this last summer. I just felt that I was living wrong.
You were not married in a church, Lori? You were not married in a church, or you were not married at all?
We were not married at all. It's a CIR.
Okay, so you were living
intimate relationship.
All right, you were living with a guy, and when you decided I want to follow our Lord, I want to follow His way of living.
Thank you.
And one of those ways of living is, hey, you don't have physical relations outside of marriage. I mean, that's been all the way back to the beginning teaching of Christianity.
Yes.
So you discovered that, and you said, I can no longer live in this relationship like this, because I'm sure he said, well, I didn't become a Christian. I'm fine the way it is, or whatever he said. And you said, well, I can't. So I think you were just being true to your faith.
Okay.
All right.
Because I feel like I am really a bad person right
now.
Oh,
no. You're doing the good thing. How can you flip that on its head? You decided I'm going to walk according to the Lord's ways, and therefore I'm a bad person? That doesn't follow.
I so appreciate you.
You are, well, thank you, dear. You are saying my eyes have been opened to the way to live according to the Lord, and you're a Christian, so according to Scripture. And Scripture is very clear about this. St. Paul talks about it. You don't do this. So, and it's not good for you. And so you said, oh gosh, I realize now. A lot more light's coming into my life. I need to do this to be faithful to what I've learned. Sure, absolutely. I think you should rejoice, Lori. You should rejoice. Shouldn't feel bad. All right, got to talk to you. Got to go. If I didn't get to you, please call back. You're first up. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it so very, very much. You taking care of things. Walk with God. That'll open your eyes.
For information on Dr. Ray's presentations, books, and CDs, visit drray.com and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. The Doctor Is In is a co-production of Ave Maria Radio and EWTN Radio and carried across the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.